Thank you, Carol. Leader, today I want to bring to the attention of the House the ERSI report, which was commissioned by the National Disability Authority, discussing employment rates amongst people with disabilities in Ireland, and we are the 4th lowest amongst the countries surveyed. People with disabilities in Ireland are twice as likely to experience poverty and deprivation than those who are without disabilities. This may worsen and is predicted to worsen post-COVID. So, Minister, our Leader, I'm aware that we published a 10-year strategy in 2015 for a comprehensive employment strategy for people with disability, and so I'm asking that we would ask the Minister responsible, the Minister of State, to come in and to report and update us as a House on that, and that we may have a debate on it, because it isn't, even where people with disabilities are working full-time, there is a higher rate of poverty amongst those that are without a disability, and there also is an education gap there of the lack of progression into third-level education. So I believe that we need a very serious debate in this House on that matter, and to ensure that the full support of this House it goes to people with disabilities, to ensuring that they live their best lives, that they have every opportunity, and whatever obstacle is put in their way, that we have a disposition of always ensuring their equality and their access, regardless whether it's education, schooling, in whatever way, that we put the weight of this House behind that, and that we make that statement. In my final minute, I just want to go back to an event or a so-called protest that occurred last Sunday in my own constituency of Dublin South Central, that was outside the Oireachtas house. And I call it a so-called protest because it wasn't a protest. It was an intimidation and bullying tactic by a group to ventilate their particular anti-vax position, and it also included appalling and vile homophobic slurs. But in that, we now have a pattern where many ministers have experienced their homes being beset by protesters. We have a threat against this so-called group who have said every politician is now liable for a protest outside their home. They're also threatening to protest outside the homes of GPs. It is not acceptable. And when we have a situation where a group take it upon themselves, have no reasonableness, cannot be appealed to. My home has a young child and elderly parents, so is that open to their interference of their privacy life? And it's certainly not what any of us signed up to. So I think that maybe we need a time for legislation. We need to talk about safe zones. We're already talking about in the context of abortion clinics and clinics that provide those services. But we do need to address it in the context of what is reasonable protest. Our constitutional right to protest and freedom of expression comes also with a responsibility in how we do things. And we need to make sure that this House provides the debate on that, explores the possibility that maybe we do need legislation, and the adequacy of certainly our public order, whether the boundaries of our public order are too tight or otherwise. Thank you.